Aikioli, it'll be the same outcome this year. Aikioli, it'll be the same outcome this year. Aikioli, it'll be the same outcome this year.
Computer Bowl 2, Ditka versus Simpson, the rematch.
Are you ready for some real football?
You know, I won a Super Bowl as a coach in my career, but last year in the Computer Bowl, O.J. skunked me. I'm out for revenge. We're going to kill him.
Yeah, Ditka won the Super Bowl, but he had McMahon in the fridge helping him. When he came down to one-on-one, him and I in the Computer Bowl, Aikioli, it'll be the same outcome this year.
Welcome to Computer Bowl 2. We join the game already in progress.
You only need one play to win. It only takes one to win. It's not over till the fat lady sings. I got all the cliches.
I was about to say.
I got all the cliches.
Third down, one big play. Come on, get him, get him.
Go ahead.
Oh, no, come on, tackle him at least.
Don't slow down.
The other guy gonna beat him.
How do those guys? How do they
like
get caught from behind? You ever get caught from behind?
No, I once in my life.
I never got in front of anybody.
D, come on, D. Come on, Bruce, you haven't made a play all day.
I'm gonna pound it right at you. Either you make it or you don't. Pounded it. Right in there. Bang.
All right, Jim Kelly. Here's why they call us the Buffalo Bills. Stay in bounds. Stay in bounds. And stay in bounds. Keep it going, bud. Stay in bounds. Yes. Yes.
Pressure. Heat. We're going to see how you guys perform under pressure. Right now, you're under big-time pressure.
Hey, we're in field goal range already.
Big time, yeah. But what's that mean with kickers? You can be on a 1-yard line. They couldn't make a field goal the way they do it.
There's no Norwood on this roster today.
Hook it. Hook it.
Yes. 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 We are the Bills. Coach, I tell you what,
that's incredible.
You're overmatched.
Yeah,
you're overmatched.
Yeah.
Hey, that's why they call me Juice Lombardi. Hey, I'm available, Jacksonville, Charlotte. Hey, watch Irvin.
Go! I don't believe you did that, Juice. I don't believe you did that. Final play of the game.
Hey, Phil,
I can't know.
You got no heart. You got no heart, Coach. You're going for the tie. You have a chance to...
Let me talk this over. Come here, boys. Let me talk this
over. You got no
talk this over.
A Computer Bowl flashback. Remember last year, Ditka missed a field goal that would have won the game.
But I tell you, the dummy missed it.
And the God in heaven is he loves the Bills. One thing I know about my man Bill Parcells, he would go for the win right now.
Yeah.
He's showing a little bit of heart.
Yeah, so would New Rockney, but he's not here to do it. You see what I'm doing here? I changed my mind.
No. Oh, no. Yeah, no. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh, I can't believe it. I didn't have to depend on a kicker this year. I didn't have to depend on a kicker. I'll tell you what.
You wouldn't have gone for it in a billion years.
Me and Newt. Watch the ball's tipped. It's caught. Touchdown. I think the first thing I learned when I got into coaching, always size up your opposition's coach. I figured you out. I knew what you'd do, and I wanted to take advantage of it. Inexperience will always show in a big game. And I got you this time. I got you. I won.
So that concludes Computer Bowl 2.
Together again now, Mr. Cool and Mr. Still Available, Jacksonville, Charlotte, and the public will never know, Mike, the obstacles you had to overcome to win the game.
Well, I have to appreciate you already gave me my Super Bowl ring, and I've got it here, and I'm wearing it today. This is my Super Bowl ring from computer football. But beating O.J. is no big deal.
Juicy gets another chance 2 years from now, don't you, O.J.?
Yes, I do. I just want you to know that everyone knows his team was bigger, his team was faster, and I still took it down to the last play. Plus, my football card is worth a lot more than Mike.
And next to me, Joe Gibbs, limp with excitement from watching the competition.
I was proud of Mike. Coaches always beat the players, and not only that, Mike, you outdressed him. How about the sweater? You look better than he did. You outdressed him.
Mike was a player once, you know. It's been a long time. Our kickoff grows ever closer. Our Paul McGuire, a former Buffalo Bill himself, finds it harder and harder to stay in the booth and away from the action. Though his playing days are over, he can't stop himself from working with younger players. Let's see what he's up to.
Crosby takes the snap, drops back to throw, fires one deep downfield, got a man open, but it's picked off. Mike Crosby, he's going all the way for the touchdown.
All right, you got to stay focused. You got to stay centered.
Got it.
Now this sweat here,
Yeah.
that's a good sign.
No.
Sports now. Let's check in first with OJ, who's been following the Bills.
Well, Jim, if the Bills were happy with the first half, they certainly didn't show it. Very somber group of guys coming in. There was no talk about great first half. No talk about one more half. No talk at all. Each player were tied into their own thoughts. They seem to be saying to themselves, we're going to talk and celebrate when this game is over. As far as Pete Metzelaars is concerned, he hurt his shoulder. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not separated. But tight end coach Don Johnson said that he didn't think that he would play in the second half. That's the story over here. Will, what's happening with the Cowboys?
The outgoingest of them all, his juiciness, who has the story of camera-shy Leon Lett. Juice?
Well, Jim, Leon Lett is 25 years old, and he loves to play football. But there's one thing he doesn't like to do, and that's talk to the media. Unfortunately for Leon, he's been involved in 2 bonehead plays in the past year. One happened in the Super Bowl, and the other happened on Thanksgiving Day. You really basically a side guy. You ever been a talker?
No, not much of a talker. I guess I never had much to talk about. Just play football, you know, go out and try and make plays.
Someone touches the football. It's Leon Lett. No!
We were all sick. But I go back in the training room and Leon's sitting there crying his eyes out. And knowing Leon, you know, knowing how hard a worker he is, knowing how shy a person he is, knowing that he did everything that he could do to try to help us win the game, I felt sorry for him. And even though I was sick, I could see he was sicker than I was.
I understand that a couple of your teammates spent some time with you after the game. I think America felt sorry for you. You do know that, huh? How important was that?
It was great. I was planning on going home for Thanksgiving, and you know, after that happened, I just decided to stay there in Dallas. And you know, I sat around with my friends. We played cards and just hung out.
Leon Lett's on-field miscues brought back memories of Jim Marshall's famed wrong-way touchdown some 30 years ago.
I mean, you can't help but to know about the wrong-way touchdown, and that was all my friends were calling me Wrong-Way Jim after the Super Bowl incident. But I never seen Jim play. I never got to see the great plays that he made. Right when we got to the stadium, and I seen all the press. There was probably like 3,000 press guys there, and I kind of got, you know, anxious, and I started sweating, and that's what happened.
Did you hear from your family after they saw that mob scene? That's all I saw, you know, on TV that night was your interview or your non-interview. Did you hear from your family? What were their response to that mob scene?
Yeah, my mother called, and she was just wanting to know if it was all okay. You know, she knows that I can get up, you know, uptight sometimes, but they were all there for me.
What will you do this year if you recover a fumble?
I've thought about that a couple of times, you know, during the season, if I recover a fumble. Maybe just fall down, or should I just run and never stop? I don't know, but I'm sure if I recover one and the field as wide open as it was, I will score.
Now, Leon has a phobia about doing interviews. He agreed to do this interview with me after some prodding. We said we would meet at the hotel at 7 o'clock. I saw him at 20 minutes of 7. He said, I'll be up in 5 minutes. 2 hours later, no Leon. Everybody looked for him, his teammates, the PR department of the Cowboys. We couldn't find him. Next day, when I finally roped him and got him in the room to do the interview, he apologized to me. He said, OJ, I was too nervous. I got sick. I was throwing up in my room, and I just didn't answer the door or turn on the TV. Now, he may be nervous about interviews, but this guy is one heck of a football player. Everyone knows he's one of the finest young players in the NFL, and in the years to come, I guarantee you, Leon Lett is going to be an all-pro, and you're going to hear his name an awful lot today, Jim.
And, Juice, your questions throw fear into all the great ones. Our Super Bowl live pregame.
Year after year, Marv Levy adds to his legacy of excellence as the coach of the Buffalo Bills. But each year, the final chapter has been an agonizing one for him. Now the loser of 4 consecutive Super Bowls. And moments ago, he talked with O.J. Simpson. Here it is.
Coach, thank you for coming out here. You seem to have this game going your way, but you just couldn't overcome those turnovers.
No, they usually are the difference in a game, O.J., and particularly in this one. I think we had 3 and we got 1. I'm not sure if all of them didn't lead to scores. I know ours led to a field goal and stopped one of their attempts at one. But then big turnovers there, and then you begin to press, and you have to come out of your game plan a little bit, try and make a play to get back in it, and we just didn't. They're too good a team for us to do that, too. I honestly would say they're probably a stronger team than they were a year ago, in my opinion.
Well, 3 of those turnovers led to 17 points. In the first half, you seemed to have the game under control with a short passing game, running between the tackles. In the second half, you did seem to be able to get control of the game.
No, we couldn't, and we didn't. A couple of screens we tried didn't work very well at all. They resulted in losses. They did a good job of reading them, and we were self-destructing a bit along the way, and be a long time till we get the ball back, and the score kept inching up away from us, and you have to take more desperate measures to try and get back in it, and if they don't click, you're going to fall further behind. That's what happened to us.
The team seemed to be able to take this game with more emotion than in previous Super Bowls. I saw Darryl Talley crying as he came up to the tunnel. What did you say to him in the locker room?
I said very little to him. I said that my regard for them, had we won the game, wouldn't be any greater than it is, despite the fact that we had a tremendous disappointment. And I told them I admired them, that this wasn't the time for a lot of words. We'll get back together and we'll try it again. Maybe it's an unpopular approach, but I think it's I think this is a team which will fight back. We met a team today that we couldn't have made mistakes on, and I'll give them their due. They were a better team than we were today.
Well, thank you, Coach. Thanks for the effort, and thanks for coming out and talking to us.
This Buffalo Bill disappointment year after year is now reaching epic proportions. You might liken them to the mythological figure Sisyphus, who kept trying to push that rock up the hillside, and he got closer and closer to the summit every time, and then it rolled all the way back down to the bottom. And like Sisyphus, they keep pushing it back up there, and you have to give them credit for that. A lot of us thought the window of opportunity was shut after last year, and they came back.
Well, I tell you, Bob, I've experienced that same thing that Marv's going through, the loss of a Super Bowl. It was awful. Going back on the plane, I thought I didn't know like you could feel that coming in second. But I certainly felt that. I also know how happy Jimmy is right now, celebrating the next 2 months of being a Super Bowl champ.
Some thoughts on Marv Levy and the Bills?
Well, first of all, I want to say that Marv Levy is an outstanding coach. I think the Buffalo Bill organization is to be congratulated. I think what they have accomplished, and I know that they're going to go down as a loser of 4 Super Bowls. I'd like to know how many games they've won over the last 4 seasons. I think that's the significant thing. To stay in there, to hang in there, to overcome adversity. This is a great organization and a great football coach. And I would hope none of those players put their head down. What happened to Thurman today could happen to anybody. He's a great football player. It's not indicative of the kind of season he had. Forget about it.
Although in truth, after the terrific Super Bowl against the Giants in his first one, he has had, as one of the great players in the game, 3 consecutive disappointing Super Bowls now. And speaking of Thurman Thomas, he's with the Juice. O.J.?
Thurman, I know your team wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the effort that you put all season long. Wasn't one of your finer performances. Tell me about the fumbles.
Well, that was the main point that turned around the football game was a fumble, especially the one that James Washington picked up and ran in for a touchdown. Over that, I thought the first half, we played a great game. Our game plan was solid, but we all know you have to play this game for 60 minutes, and those key turnovers that I had led to 10 points, so that kind of changed the momentum of the game, especially the second one that I had that Washington ran for a touchdown.
Well, we know it can happen to anyone. What did the coach say to you right after the fumbles or in the locker room when the game was over?
Well, the things that I've been able to associate with my coach Elijah Pitts and Kenny Davis is that, hey, they always tell me, hey, don't worry about that. Things like that happen when you control the ball so many times as you do. You have to be able to go out there and do the things that you're normally able to do. And, hey, you're the one that got us here, you know. But I wish I could have played a better game in the season.
Well, we know you got a lot of great games in front of you. Thanks for coming out and talking to me. And we're going to go back to Bob Costas.
All right, Juice, thanks a lot. If it helps for perspective and maybe somewhere down the road consolation for Marv Levy and the Bills, Bud Grant and his Vikings, one of the great teams of another decade, lost 4 Super Bowls in the 70s, 3 of them in a 4-year span. Yesterday, Bud Grant rightfully went to the Hall of Fame.